Welcome back to the competition studio of the Paderewski International Piano Competition 2025. I'm your host, Jared Dunn, and today I'm joined by a very good friend and colleague, Professor Adam Kosmieja. Welcome.
Hey, Jared, nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here. So for this competition, you're also serving as secretary to the jury.
Correct.
So we're going to get around to talking about that. But first, as a specialist in new music and contemporary music in general, what are your impressions of this year's commissioned piece?
I think it's very interesting, and I think it's a little bit a different angle this year, because in previous editions of our competition, we used to commission pieces from composers from the composition department. And now Hyunjin, who is also a great composer, but also a pianist that used to play classical music and jazz music, and he sort of makes a fusion of all the styles together. He is our faculty, but from the jazz department.
In Bydgoszcz.
In Bydgoszcz Academy, correct. So I think the piece has a little flavor that gives this, even the harmonies we could hear in the middle section, and sometimes the style and generally the vibe of the entire piece has, in my opinion, a little bit, maybe because I know Krzysztof's music, I am a little bit more informed about the piece, but I still sense some jazzy background behind it.
Now, you have also recorded music that fuses jazz with classical. Can you tell us a bit about where your ears are picking up on these things?
Yes, I did. A few years ago, I did an album that focused on the music of Friedrich Gulda, who used to be a giant figure in the 20th century pianism. So he was a great classical music and very controversial, of course, interpreter, but also picking on jazz, and then in his compositions sort of trying to put these two styles together. So he composed a few solo piano pieces, and not only solo piano pieces, that have a classical form, but their language and the feeling, the nature of the piece is pretty much jazz music. So yeah, I had a little bit of experience in that field. But
as part of the international project that we were collaborating on a few years ago, you actually came to Canada and played some of the pieces from that album. Do you remember that?
Of course, I
remember. What does it give you to perform that kind of music? And, you also recorded 111, Beethoven 111, alongside a bunch of Gulda.
I mean, it gives me a bit more stress because I'm not a jazz musician. So it took me a few years just to get around some things. And people play jazz and study jazz and for their entire lives, and still have to grow and get better. So just a few years was quite stressful, as some of the pieces actually are difficult, because you do have to play all the written out notes, and then let's say when you're playing a sonatina, which is based on a sonata form, in the development you have to improvise on the themes from the allegro sonata form. So and then you have to blend it all together, and it has to flow nicely, but also not break the form and the integrity of the piece. So there were some challenges, but I think we all have to find challenges and grow as an artist. So as artists, so it was inspiring for me.
You also are teaching here in Bydgoszcz. You're the head of piano at the academy now. When you're hearing students play, let's say, Beethoven Sonata, Bach partitas, and then they're trying this newer style, do you notice differences in the challenges that they're facing as well?
Of course, and I always strongly recommend playing and learning contemporary music, whether you like it or not. It's exactly how my teacher forced me to do contemporary music. So when I was in Manhattan School of Music in New York, Solomon Mikowski was famous for forcing, especially the first year, for freshman students, that you have to play one piece that is very contemporary, whether you like it or not. And then, others decide later whether this music brings anything new or valuable to the history of music. But it actually helps and teaches you lots of new processes and reading music, understanding music, going back to classical repertoire. even in my experience, gives you really a different angle. So it's really it gives you a lot of information, the contemporary music, and you do have to. Of course, we always say that playing Chopin's music or classical or Baroque or 20th century, you have to be the composer yourself. I mean, you have to think as the composer of the piece, like what the composer wanted you to say. So we're like, we're like, you know, a mechanism that brings this music to life. But in the contemporary music world, very often you don't have references, you don't have recordings, you don't have treatises to read about this music. So very often you have to make your own individual decision based on your sense of things that are happening. So you have to go a little bit deeper to actually bring stuff out. So going back to the iron repertoire, you sort of have the same attitude, and somehow I find that it's really easier to start to understand this music, not to only play it as everyone plays it, or as your teacher told you to play it, or as 5 of the recordings you heard, but you tend to get more the angle of the composer, sort of. You have to understand harmony, theory.
You really read it differently when you don't have a discography behind you of people that have done that already.
Yes, yes, and it's sometimes it's really liberating, you know, that you're playing a piece that in a way no one really knows, but in terms of the competition, of course, this is a different case. The jury has the score. I mean, it's not that someone can play anything. Of course, it's an addition to the competition. It's not that this piece probably will be the most important piece in this recital program, but still it gives a different angle to see how this new piece composed especially for this competition is being interpreted by the contestants. So I think it's a very good addition.
Let's go a little bit more into that. What's the philosophy behind having a commissioned piece that no one's ever heard before, and then all 10 semifinalists have to play the same piece, but none of them have ever heard it?
So as I said, in my opinion, it gives you the overall opinion how the contestant is actually interpreting a really fresh piece that no one ever heard before. And it also depends on the competition and on the piece. Some competitions give you extremely hard contemporary pieces, like Hamamatsu is famous for it. And sometimes the pianists memorize the pieces, some do not. Some focus really on bringing out all the notes, which is, in my opinion, maybe not the most important thing for these kinds of pieces. Of course, we do want to play all the notes, yes, but not to lose the spirit of the music that is written. And sometimes the pieces commissioned for the competitions are not extremely difficult technically, but they do have like a little riddle or a mystery behind it. So it's interesting to see if the contestants do find it, or they only play the notes and they worry about the notes. Then you also have this time involved, that the score is being sent and you have an amount of time to prepare it with all the repertoire for all the stages. So I think
which they will have had for a lot longer, everything else they've performed many times before.
Of course, and it's not that you pick one program or repertoire and go from one to another competition. So I think, I mean, opinions are different, but in my opinion, it is always refreshing and always very satisfying to see competitions where you have not only piano concerto and solo piano music, but you have chamber music or commissioned pieces, because you sense the artist in contestant. Not only pianist who's playing the iron repertoire, but you have I think a wider picture of this person as a musician, not only the pianist who's playing the etudes and the sonatas and all the...
Which gives us a certain image of pianists who are so well prepared with standard rep, iron rep, as you're saying, but then also a different side of their personality.
Exactly, and also like chamber music. Suddenly someone who's mastering the, let's say, Liszt etudes or Chopin etudes, you hear a piano quartet and suddenly, some qualities are missing, like the most important qualities in making music together in a chamber group. So I think it's very important. So here you have the, in the semifinals, you have the chamber concerto, I mean the chamber Mozart concerto with the chamber orchestra. So you have a sense of this style and making music with a smaller ensemble, and then you have a big orchestra and the big concerto at the in next stage, the final stage. So you have the small Paderewski's pieces, which are for many pianists in a way a discovery. I heard comments, that's some beautiful pieces, and we are very happy that more and more contestants are choosing the bigger Paderewski
sonata
which are very demanding. So it's really good to see that.
I'm curious, just to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about venturing into the jazz idiom and feeling there's a huge amount of challenges there because you studied primarily classically. You went to MSM, you were studying here in Bydgoszcz. When you are working with students now on this exact thing, if they want to try, let's say a fusion of styles or work toward jazz repertoire, what excites you about that? What's the process like?
The thing is that I don't give my students these kinds of works. I mean, I always,
interesting.
Yeah, I always encourage them to see, to look, to search, to go really deep in what interests them, and to get the sense of all the styles that are available. Also, outside of classical music, jazz music, and even pop music sometimes. I mean, I don't like to put things in the box that, you play Baroque, you play Chopin, you play contemporary, you play... I mean, either you're a good musician or you're not, I mean.
Right.
So you should follow whatever your heart tells you to do. So if I see that some students are really sort of turning into this direction, then I'm very happy to help them out, to maybe give them some scores or maybe refer them to some composers in this kind of style. But I do not say that, okay, I played Gulda, so now you have to do it. But if they tend to look into that direction, it's always, I think, it's satisfying to see that someone is choosing their own little path to decide and to try something that in the beginning requires really different tools. Yeah. Because I think it all comes back from the primary education. So as classical
what do you mean?
I think that as classical pianists we are always trained in a way, especially, I mean, not especially, I can say from my experience from being a pianist born and raised in Poland, that having this musical education, playing classical piano, has this angle of being, like going to this Mount Olympus, so going to competitions and, mastering to perfection this repertoire. And I think if at the early stage we would have more sort of variety in teaching, in a sense that we lost the improvisation. I mean, back in the day, it was not that, jazz pianists are improvising. Everyone is improvising. Chopin, Liszt. I mean,
Mozart constantly.
Of course, it was a natural idiom of making music. So I think if we could get that back earlier, because later it's a little bit. I mean, it's never too late, but it's really hard to not feel it as a whole. So
I understand. Yeah, I mean, if you're learning from the beginning, let's say a very standard but solid, classically oriented curriculum, and then suddenly in your master's degree, someone says, "Why don't you try this other style?" and it's highly improvisatory. That must be somewhat shocking.
Exactly. So, of course, when we grow as musicians, we get new abilities, and naturally, if someone desires something, I mean, you can learn it at any stage. But I think it would be very helpful to have all these other tools and methods of stimulating your other inner hidden talents. It would be interesting, I think.
I've heard you play both the standard and your Gulda rep and stuff that you were improvising. So I've been wanting to ask you this for a couple of years now. Do you enjoy improvising? What does it give you?
Later, I started enjoying it a little. I mean, when I improvise for myself or when I improvise for, I don't know, a concert or some of my friends, this is something completely different. But when you have to improvise in a style like of Gulda, in the style of, let's say, the standard jazz improvisatory style, that he gives you actually the chords and he gives you the themes and you have to do that, then it is not becoming so liberating, because you have still the rules that you have to follow.
Right.
You have to improvise on this, on that, but then you have to go to here, to here, you have to be in this key, then you have, your right hand has to be on this scale, but in the left hand you still have to follow the chords. So in the beginning it was extremely stressful. Later, when I was, because recording the pieces, I really wanted to maintain the improvisatory style. Because actually my first thought when I discovered Gulda was, okay, I will go to Krzysztof Hyunjin, who commissioned the piece for the competition, and I will ask him to write me, write everything out. So I learned the notes. So a great cadenza, development, this and that. Because sometimes even in Gulda pieces, you play all the notes and then you have 4 measures, like improvise on these chords and just go to this next section. So sometimes it's 4 measures, but 4 measures of switching entirely, it's very difficult. So my first thought was to go to Hyunjin and buy a written out version so I can record it, like a classical pianist. But I really sank deep into Gulda's idiom and his musical world, and it would be cheating. I mean that's why he wrote the piece, to try. I mean, to open up. And of course, some are very difficult in terms of improvisation for a beginner. Some are easier, and at the same time, the improvisation doesn't have to be extremely on high level, and mine is definitely not. But it is something that you created, and it gives an extreme amount of joy that this is something that you actually did, and okay, it works. And when I was learning and repeating, then the little improvisations were growing a little bit. And seeing that and hearing it, especially hearing, because this was the most painful thing.
Why is that?
I mean, I loved jazz from my teenage years and lived in New York for 4 years, so I knew all. Yeah, of course. My roommate Christian Sands, who is now one of the top jazz pianists in the world, he already was very famous entering MSM. I mean, he influenced me immensely. We used to go all to all the great jazz clubs. We saw Cecil Taylor, all the big stars. So I knew how good jazz sounds, and I always appreciated it. So then when you sit at the piano and you try and you hear how bad it sounds, how not in rhythm and in swing it is, you're frustrated. So
is there that straitjacket that we tend to hear about, that classical music is very on the point and strict, and jazz is really that open-ended?
I probably wouldn't agree.
Yeah,
I think
it's a general misconception. I agree.
Yes. I think both qualities would fit both of the genres. So you have to have strict and very solid and very focused attitude towards classical music, but also this freedom that sort of you let in. Then it becomes the real music. It's difficult that you have to, I mean, that's what my teachers told me, and that's what I'm always teaching my students, that in order to understand this music of this particular time, you have to know the time that it was composed in. You have to understand what was happening, why it is so revolutionary at that time. What are other guys doing? So I always say that it's a little bit easier to understand what the guys in our times in terms of composition are doing to sense what this music is meaning and what does it mean to play this music. Then sometimes playing music from 18th century or 17th century, not to make it as a piece just brought from the museum. So yes,
nice way of putting it.
Because that's in a way what it is. That we tend to put things in boxes and very often labeling it. So this is how you should do it. This is how you should do it.
It's more comfortable if you can categorize something and just leave it as it is, right?
Yes.
Rather than reinvent it somehow.
Yeah.
You're talking about something that's been brought up several episodes of the competition studio by various jury members and people making comments and experts, that young people today need to work on commissioned music, contemporary music, and even commission their own projects. Because if you don't work with a composer really early on in your career, you miss so much of what the artistic process is like. What do you think about?
I agree, absolutely. I always think that pianists and generally musicians should work with composers and with other musicians, especially for pianists. We don't get that much and that many opportunities to work as other musicians do from the early stage in ensembles, in orchestras. So always where there is opportunity to play with others, with winds. I mean, gorgeous instruments. Very rarely we do have, even for the chamber music, the ensembles with the use of the wind instruments, with other pianists, with other media. This is important because contemporary music today is not anymore the pieces written out for the keys. We're in the age where the microtonal music is already something old. So if you would ask someone in the competition, can you find me a microtone or what's it called, an overtone at the piano? I mean, they would be shocked. What are you talking about? So there's the electronics today. Now we're entering completely different era with artificial intelligence.
We're in deep waters here because this is changing the way we listen.
This is true. This is true, and because of the media and all the screaming sound objects from everywhere we go every day, changed a little bit also our perception of music. So it's very important to be focused and to listen and
as you were saying, to work with composers and develop maybe projects that have multimedia and different approaches than just the standard piano recital, let's say.
And just to try, just to grow. I mean, we have to understand how things work, and I think it's only for the best. Even if we maintain, the classical music and the history of music, we still do have to look what is happening now, not only into the future, but what is happening now. And now a lot of things are happening.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out you're operating in a very important role in the competition as well. And I've known you for quite a while, so I can understand by your voice today you sound a bit tired because you have a really, really difficult role. And now it's difficult for many reasons. Secretary to the jury. Now in a competition like this one that's international, that's a huge responsibility. Can you tell us a bit about what you've been doing for the last 10 days?
Yes. I'm really sorry, and I probably will go back to the recordings, but I barely listened to anyone. And, many, many years ago, I was in the same role as the other contestants, so I completely know how it feels. And not to support them, not to be there, it's not, I'm not feeling well with it. But, as you asked, I'm busy with other things, with the schedules.
I don't think, given your role, anyone's expecting you to be in the hall every hour of the competition.
No, but I would love to because, there are some people that I know in the competition. And we have one of our graduates who attended the semifinals. So this is also very good news for us. But most of the time, I'm taking care of the jury, making sure that they have everything that they need, that they arrive in the hall on time, that they leave the hall and they get safe into the hotel, that they have the meals. And of course, I collect the votes when they're voting, and I do count the votes. So I present them with the results of each stage. And I also do schedules for our participants. So for their practicing time, I also do schedules for the piano technicians. And
we were discussing this earlier. Tell me about how that works.
This is an interesting concept because not many people know about it.
Yeah.
That during the day we have the competition, but the pianos are being used the entire day, so they need to be maintained, and technicians do need to have time to work on them. So during the night, the technicians work at the pianos. So when you have yes, and they start late in the evening and during the night, starting from 9 p.m. till 9 a.m. Let's say, these are the borders. They have their tuning times. So it's my job to divide these times evenly between all the companies, and it's great to have this diversity and to have all the 4 companies of the probably the greatest pianos still in the semifinal round. But you know, I have to divide the time evenly, and what is interesting that no one, of course, from the technicians wants to get the worst time. So let's say from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Right.
to tune a piano, right?
Of course.
It's unhuman. So in order to be fair, we have to always rotate the order.
Right.
So if, let's say, Yamaha was tuning from 2 to 5 today, tomorrow they will be tuning from 5 to 8. So it's like a circle. And
so everyone takes a turn with the worst spot.
No, we actually took turns in the beginning of the competition.
Okay.
I met with the technicians, and they drew the order. So when the order was fixed, and we knew that, let's say, first was Shigeru Kawai, then it was Yamaha, Steinway, Fazioli. That was the order of the first night. And then, starting from the first night, we were just rotating it.
Right.
So the one who started in the beginning of the night was then having a later time, and so forth.
So actually, during this competition, there is something happening in the hall 24 hours.
Exactly.
Do you ever get phone calls in the middle of the night about arranging things?
Fortunately not.
That's great.
So I think the schedule works, and so far everyone is, I think, satisfied. No complaints. But also we do have 2 venues for the competition. So first and second stage was in the academy. So I also had to coordinate arrival of the pianos a few days before the competition.
Wow.
And now when this stage 2 was over, we had to coordinate moving the pianos to the Philharmonic. So in the competition, I mean, already we are in planning of pianos to being moved from the concert hall when the competition will be over. So
Wow.
there is lots of things happening all
There's
the time.
a lot of logistics.
Yes, that's
So
true.
basically when, let's say, jury members have a day off or the studio has a day off, you're actually still working to organize all of this.
Yes, and there are people who work more than I in this competition, especially our director Agata, who's probably answering calls in the middle of the night too, because there are so many things that you have to take care of, and the sponsors and the regulations, and then inviting the guests, making sure that the meals are made for proper times during the jury stay at the hotel, and planning all the things. So there's yesterday was a day off. So with the jury members, we went to the mayor's. Yes, we had coffee there, right? And
that's a lovely touch. Why does the competition? What's behind that event?
It's a tradition. It's a tradition. I mean, this is the first time that I'm the jury secretary, but I know the competition for a long time, and I know that this is a tradition, which in my opinion is a very important tradition, because it gives you the connection. The president, who also sponsors the competition and supports it, the mayor, president of our city of Bydgoszcz, so the mayor of Bydgoszcz. And I think it's also nice for the jury to have this appreciation that for him and for our city, this is a very important event, and for growth of our culture in our city. So you know, even if he's not here, of course he will be at the finals. You get an hour to spend together and to. It's always after stage 2, so it's like in the middle of the competition. So it's a good time to talk about what was happening, what is happening,
Yes.
how Bydgoszcz changed in the past 3 years. So I think it's a nice
one
touch.
huge change, the new building of the academy.
Correct.
Do you like it?
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Of
I was going to
course.
say, just before I moved to Poland over 10 years ago, my teacher told me it's such an active musical country, you'll love it there. And then you go to a piano competition and you find out halfway through you're going to meet with the mayor who's going to tell you why this competition is so important to the city. That's a really unique thing, I think. And I think it's really important. So one last question just to finish, because as jury secretary you have a lot of work to do and we're taking your time. How important is the Paderewski competition and its relationship to the Academy of Music?
I think it's very important because after Chopin competition, international Chopin competition in Warsaw, this is probably the biggest, second biggest competition, piano competition in Poland, and it has its tradition. It's the 13th edition, and you know, always the competition was created with the academy, so it gives our students who go listen to the contestants. I hope it gives them inspiration. I hope it gives them also an example that, you know, you can be there in a few years. You know, practice hard. It gives them contact with the jury members. I mean, you can always go ask questions. You can be around the jury. You can be around other contestants. It's always great to be in a place where there is where there are people from all around the world, from different conservatories. It gives you a sense what is happening generally in the piano world. What is the level? So I think it's only for the good, and of course for Bydgoszcz hosting, and for the academy hosting this kind of event with streaming, with at least for these 2 weeks, some sort of attention from the piano world. It gives you also an opportunity to show what we do here. And of course we're a small city, but look, we have an opera house, we have the Philharmonic, we have the academy,
Really
2 theaters,
yeah.
and it's becoming more and more and more on a really top world level. So, of course, I mean, talking generally about culture, because piano is, you know, Bydgoszcz is famous for piano, but I think the academy will make the new building, the new campus of the academy will make the entire academy and our community grow as a whole, being in one building, not separated as before, because we had 4 buildings.
Yes.
So
I almost couldn't recognize the idea of going there, because I remember it being all spaced out in these different places, and now it's all in one enormous, modern, incredible new building. We're very lucky that you're the head of piano there.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Adam, for your time. It's been great
Thank you,
interviewing
Jared.
you.
It was a pleasure as always.
We'll take a quick break now for you to hear another excerpt from a competition performance this morning, followed by another interview with a participant, a semi-finalist. See you shortly. Welcome back to the competition studio. You've just been listening to the last 2 minutes of the commissioned piece for this year's competition, played by Hyunjin who's joining me in the studio. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
How do you feel watching your performance, which just happened 1 hour ago?
Actually, like right after my performance, I thought like, oh, did I make a lot of mistakes like that?
Really?
But well, I always have mistakes, so I'm trying to ignore it, and I really feel comfortable to like finish the performance, like especially solo round, and like I'm looking forward to performing the concerto.
Which Mozart concerto are you playing?
488.
488 in A major. Such a beautiful, the second movement.
Yeah, I
Isn't this
love
wonderful?
it. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, what are your impressions of the commissioned piece by Mr. Hyunjin?
Like to be honest, when like in the very beginning, like at the first time I see the score, I was like, oh, what is that? Because there's a lot of like 16 notes. So I was like, oh, maybe it's hard to play the like really like fast because its tempo is 150. So like, oh, how can I play like in this tempo like that? But like after the practice that piece, I think I was trying to like understand his thought because it's really hard to like understand it because I cannot text him or I cannot talk to him. So I was like what character he wants to like show. So like yeah, it's really like, how can I say, it's really good. Good experience for
creative process.
Yeah, right.
It's different types of questions we ask when there's no recordings we can listen to. You played also this stage, the Schumann Sonata Opus 11, and in the previous stage you played Brahms Sonata Opus 1. I think it's very interesting. You played two huge sonatas by Brahms and Schumann. These composers are often related to each other because of their historical relationship. Why did you choose Brahms Sonata number 1 and Schumann Sonata number 1?
Actually, like Schumann Sonata is the favorite piece for me, like in the world, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so there's like only one reason, like the reason was like just I love that piece. And Brahms Sonata, I think for me that like the composer's sonata is like means a lot for me, especially like Barber Sonata or like Rachmaninoff Sonata and like Beethoven Sonata, of course. And so like I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Schumann Sonata on the semifinal, and like what piece is good for me to play like with Schumann Sonata and like blah 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 blah. And so that's why I choose Brahms Sonata, and like especially the C major like hits me a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think the original key of piano is C major, and like the piece is so much like so pretty because it starts with C major and the like second movement is C minor. And I like go like this way, and like end of the last movement is also C major. So it hits me a lot, so that's why I choose that piece.
Now, I also love the Schumann First Sonata. It's one of my favorite pieces. How do you feel when you're performing the aria?
I don't know. I was just like happy because there is the song for singers, like to Anna, I think.
Yes.
And like I listened to it a lot, and like I just like imagine that song and like just like enjoy it. I think enjoy the like the shape of the notes and like harmony also.
Do you feel the euphoria of the last movement, this excitement?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you finish this piece? There's all these questions coming through on the live stream about everyone's performance. So audiences always want to know, how do you feel right when you finish?
Of course, it's so happy. Like, oh yeah, like finally I'm done like that. And also, like there's a lot of, like, the feeling like, oh, I should have played like this. Oh, I.
Really? Is there anything you wish had gone better today?
Like, just mistakes. And that's something like that kind of, yeah.
Do you find that competitions help you with how you prepare and building confidence?
Yeah.
in yourself?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because especially this competition, we can play like the pieces which like whatever I want. Like so I think the competition is really helpful to make a lot of repertoire for pianists. And also like I don't know, nowadays competition is really like competitive, I think, because there's a lot of amazing pianists. So I think it's really good experience to have like concert. Maybe it's not concert, but it feels like concert for me.
It feels like a concert for you. Oh, that's wonderful. And you chose to play on the Kawai. How is it?
Actually, my favorite piano is Kawai, I think, because I know that that there's a lot of like good piano in the world, especially like three of them, like Yamaha, like Steinway and Fagioli. But like I choose the Brahms and Schumann, and also there's like Liszt or Czerny, and like I'm gonna play Mozart, and like if I get in the final, I'm gonna play Beethoven. So I think the Kawai piano fits them so well.
Which Beethoven did you pick for the final?
The number five.
The Emperor.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I noticed the differences in the acoustic between the Symphonic Hall and the Chamber Hall at the Academy. How did it feel on stage, the acoustic?
Actually, the like first and second stage, I thought it'd be like bigger than I thought. But actually it's smaller than I thought. So, but its acoustic is not bad, I think. But it's really hard to imagine like how the sound will go, or like how the like piano, like how to control the piano like that.
And how do you feel in the hall here?
It's so much comfortable for me because it's really like bigger than like the last two stages, and like I don't know, like it really feels like I'm having a concert. Yeah.
Do you enjoy performing in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it give you to perform? Why do you love it?
Actually, for me, I prefer to play with the other artists, like violinists or like string players and like.
You love chamber music.
Yeah, I really love chamber music. So, I think like making music with the score and plus with my like interpretation is always like makes me so happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was the rehearsal yesterday with the chamber orchestra?
It was so good, and especially like the acoustic of the hall is like so good, and like especially like Mozart, like which I'm gonna play is really beautiful piece. So we didn't talk too much, just like run through and like
Really?
oh yeah I like that.
How is it different when you're listening to yourself play solo compared to listening to the orchestra when you play concerto?
It's not really easy to make the music like together, like for example like put together or like playing with the same pulse. But yeah, I don't know how to say. I just like really
Okay, so my
enjoyed it.
next question then, because K488 I know very well. What's your favorite combination between piano and strings, piano and woodwinds? What do you love in this concerto?
I think the flute part.
Yes.
Like I really that's my like favorite part.
And when you're starting in the second movement, I think this will be very interesting for viewers to know. What are you thinking when you have to play just solo, this first phrase?
Oh, you mean second movement?
Yeah, second movement.
I think it's like the sentence, like so, and there's comma, and like I have to say something again, and there's a dot like that. So it's really like the chance of saying something in my own like heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have one final question just to finish our interview. What's the best piece of advice you've been given about preparing and performing in competitions?
Schumann sonata. I want to say like Schumann sonata is, yeah.
It's really special to you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then what's the best advice you've been given from mentors and pianists about how to compete and how to play in these conditions?
You mean like piano playing?
Yeah, like what things have you learned? What have you learned from important mentors or professors about how to do this?
I think for me, I want them to tell like how can I interpret it, because like we all can see the score like, oh, what did Schumann write, or like what did Brahms write, like that. But it's really important to like combine their thought and their like logic, and also my thought, my feeling, like that. So yeah.
And when you're on stage giving this performance, do you feel connected to the audience and to the whole experience of playing?
Yes, like sometimes the audience can make some sound like the pencil or like paper sound,
Right.
or like
And
like
you can hear this from the stage.
Yeah, I can hear, and like sometimes it's really hard to focus on playing, I think, but it like also at the same time it's like, oh, the audience is there, audience is here, so we can like breathe together, like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
That's very exciting. Well, I wish you all the best with the Mozart Concerto and all the best for the results of the semifinals. And thank you very much for coming to be interviewed today.
Thank
you very much. We'll see all of you tomorrow again for the competition studio on the second day of the semifinals. Thank you for joining us.
The 13th International Paderewski Piano Competition in Bydgoszcz, Poland. November 9th to 23rd. Watch live broadcasts online. More information at paderewskicompetition.pl and on social media.
Bydgoszcz. Jedno miasto, dwie rzeki, tysiące historii.
Energia jutra zaczyna się w umysłach, które sięgają dalej. Energia jutra to bezpieczeństwo, rozwój, niezależność, wielkie inwestycje dla pewnej przyszłości. Orlen to więcej niż przystanek na drodze. To droga. Energia jutra zaczyna się dziś.
Stadiony, baseny, muzea, opery, te i wiele innych obiektów powstało ze środków przekazanych przez Totalizator Sportowy. Od 1994 roku przekazaliśmy na te cele ponad 22 miliardy złotych. Totalizator Sportowy, właściciel marki Lotto.
The 13th International Paderewski Piano Competition in Bydgoszcz, Poland. November 9th to 23rd. Watch live broadcasts online. More information at paderewskicompetition.pl and on social media.
Cukiernia Sowa życzy Wam słodkiego dnia. Codziennie.
XIII Międzynarodowy Konkurs Pianistyczny imienia Ignacego Jana Paderewskiego w Bydgoszczy.